Hello again, and welcome to our second New Now Next Fall 2018 launch event of the day. I'm John, and we're here with Honeywell experts discussing what's new, what's now, and what's next for fall, and how we can help make you the pro, the hero of the home. Now, in our first video, we discussed the spin, the 3 pillars of home, and new Honeywell solutions in the connected home space. Be sure to check it out if you haven't already. Now, as always, if you have questions or comments, feel free to add them below the video, and we'll do our best to address them as we go. Now, I'm joined now by Dan Bereiter, who's a product manager on the Honeywell Residential Thermal Solutions team. Dan, welcome. Thanks for coming in today. And can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do within the world of residential thermal solutions?
Yeah, absolutely. So as you mentioned, I'm a product manager within our Residential Thermal Solutions group. I on my day-to-day work with residential boiler controls, but I also am excited to introduce the new heat pump control that we're going to talk about today.
Great. Well, we do have a lot of things to talk about today. Great new products, different things that we're going to make your life easier out there in the world of the pro. So let's dig right in.
Absolutely.
All right, we're going to start with talking a little bit about what all the residential thermal solutions entail.
Sure, yeah. So Residential Thermal Solutions has really been at the core of the Honeywell business since day one. So our products are core to the Honeywell business, and we've been around for well over 100 years. Now that type of longevity, I think, really tells you everything you need to know about our business and why we've been so successful. Now, in this industry, if you can't safely and reliably control the aspects of a heating appliance in a home, then you really have no business being there. So that's what we've been doing, that's what we specialize in, and that's why we're in millions of homes worldwide.
I agree. I think that type of history, connection with the customers, connection with the pros. So I'm sure you hear feedback. What are some of the most popular solutions that Honeywell has had over the years?
You know, John, contractors love our universal controls. So we have universal controls to cover oil burners, to cover furnaces, to cover the fans in your HVAC system. And that universal control has been enabling contractors for decades now. And what contractors love about that is the fact that they can keep one part on their truck, and that's going to get them out of almost any jam. They're going to have the right part every time. When they get that call late on Friday night that the homeowner has no heat, they know that the parts in the truck, they're going to be in and they're going to be out and on the road.
Okay, excellent. Now, in addition to the universal solutions that you have created at Honeywell, are there any other things that Honeywell's known for out there in the world of the pros and the world of the customers?
I would say that the biggest thing is our reliability. So a contractor is not going to put our part in their customer's home if they don't think that it's going to work and work reliably for years to come. The last thing that any of our pros want to do is to install a part in one of their customers' HVAC systems only for it to fail 6 months later. That means that the pro has to go out there, repair it, often on their own dime because they put in a less than reliable product.
Great. And again, that is when you have that kind of relationship between a company like Honeywell that provides amazing products and easy to use products in terms of making things much more convenient and reliable for the pros and for the customers, no wonder your products have been in homes for all these years, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing. So what's new now and next in the world of residential thermal solutions?
Yeah, we've got 3 products that we're going to talk about today. 2 new products and 1 enhancement of a product that pros have been using for years. So first off, we're going to talk about the new universal heat pump defrost control. Then we're going to look at the portfolio enhancement of the GlowFly hot surface igniter. And then lastly, we're going to talk about an improvement to the S9200 universal IFC.
Great. Well, let's get to it because I know everybody out there is interested in hearing about these products. So let's start out talking about the Honeywell Universal Heat Pump Defrost Control. Try saying that 5 times fast.
Right.
Right? Yeah. I don't need to because I've already said it once, so we're going to leave it there. But I am going to ask you, so what does this product do?
In short, this product keeps the heat on in the winter. So when a single stage heat pump is switching over from cooling mode into heat mode as the weather starts to get a little cooler, the condensing unit of the heat pump can start to build up ice when the weather starts to turn and the temperatures get a little cooler. So this ice that builds up on the condensing unit can really inhibit the heat transfer that's allowing the heat pump to work. So what our product does is it's going to be able to determine when ice is going to be building up on the condensing unit. At that time, it's going to switch around the refrigeration cycle, which is going to heat up the condensing unit and thus melt the ice. Once the ice is melted, the heat pump is back to functioning properly.
That sounds great. I mean, that's exactly what you wanted to do. So now, what makes this product unique?
Yeah, so one of the great parts about this product is that it is universal. So it's going to replace over 260 OEM and competitive controls. So going back to what I was saying earlier about the universal story that we like to tell, we're going to make sure that our pros have the right part on their truck every time. So when that call comes in, they're not going to have to worry about going and ordering a part from an OEM, having it show up 2 or 3 days later, only to have to go back to the house and install it. This really enables our pros to be successful, and when they're successful, we're successful.
Absolutely. Now, I have to ask this question. How can one product replace so many others?
When we were building this product, we really leaned heavily on our experience building our other universal parts that we have in our portfolio. So we took that knowledge and applied it to this part, and that's what's really going to enable us to build a part that's going to replace all of these OEM and competitive controls.
Great. Now, one of the things I know we hear from pros a lot is that they like products that are quick and easy to install. And so how does the universal heat pump, excuse me, wow, see, it is hard to say that 5 times fast. I said it once, now I'm gonna, risk it. How does the universal heat pump defrost control support the need for speed?
Yeah, we hear that all the time. Contractors want to get in, get out, and get on to the next job. So we designed this product from the ground up with that in mind. To start with, it's got a smaller footprint than the competition. So at a square form factor and 1 inch smaller than the competition, even though that doesn't sound like much, that's going to reduce the need for our pros to have to relocate some of the internal heat pump components. So this is going to save time and really reduce any sort of headaches that they might get from an installation. So in addition to this, we also have a dual LED display on there so that when our pros are configuring and commissioning this product, they're going to be able to see the variables and see the settings that they're changing at the same time. So no more confusion from following a guide, following a manual. That's going to be hard to read. They're going to know what they're doing every time.
So it really is easy and quick.
Absolutely.
Great, good. So the product is totally going to make our comfort pros heroes. Even more so than you already are. And that's what the Honeywell relationship is all about. Well, let's move on now to the next thing we're going to be talking about, which is GlowFly. Now, I see that GlowFly is a universal hot surface igniter. Now, what does that mean exactly?
Yeah, the hot surface igniter is the component of a direct ignition furnace that actually lights the gas. So it's mounted close to the burner inside the combustion chamber, and when there's a call for heat, it's going to receive an electrical signal. That's going to start heating up the ignition or the igniter, and eventually it's going to start glow red. So this means that it's hot. When it's hot, the gas is ready to flow. At that point, when the gas touches the igniter, it's going to ignite. Homeowner has heat.
Okay. So now, what are the issues if the igniter doesn't work? What are some of the issues that you run into when you have an igniter that doesn't work?
If the igniter isn't working, quite simply, the furnace will lock out and the homeowner won't have heat. So it's going to start to try, it's going to go through the trial for ignition, it's going to see that there's no flame being established, and it's going to shut down right away and shut down safely.
Good to know. So, now, it's my understanding that Honeywell already has a GlowFly,
Absolutely.
which everybody really enjoys using, and the installers have been loving that product. But now this one's a new and improved version. So talk a little bit about the improvements and the differences in this particular model of the GlowFly.
You're absolutely right, John. The GlowFly has been around for years now, and it's been really helping our pros out when they go to troubleshoot some of these HVAC systems. But when we looked at the market and saw where there might be some need, we thought that extending the length of the igniter by even just 0.4 of an inch was really going to increase the reliability of the igniter. So with that extra 0.4 of an inch, the igniter is now sticking even further into the gas stream, which means more hot surface area touching the gas and more reliably lighting it off.
Excellent. All right. So it sounds like these are amazing improvements. Now, of course, the pros are going to want to know what's the benefit for them on this particular GlowFly improvement.
Yeah, so let's start out with just the fact that it's still a universal product. So this one universal product is going to replace over 110 other igniters. Then let's move on to the fact that it's made out of the new silicon nitride material. The silicon nitride material is a lot more robust than the old silicon carbide igniters that have been installed on furnaces for decades now. So when installers are installing the new GlowFly Pro, which is longer, made out of silicon nitride, and is universal, they've got the peace of mind that this product is going to light the gas, this product is going to heat my house every time.
Great. All right, well, now I've got some questions for you about the S9200. And this is the IFC, which is an integrated furnace control. Who knew that that's what IFC meant? I had many other ideas about what it meant, and I was wrong. It's not International Federation of Cheese.
No, it is not.
No, it is not. So why don't you tell us what this thing does then? What is the integrated furnace control, the S9200?
The S9200 Universal IFC is really the brains of an HVAC system. When there's a call for heat in the winter, it's the board that's actually going to manage the trial for ignition, make sure that it's being done safely. And then when the furnace is actually running after there's been ignition of gas, it's going to monitor all of the safety parameters of the system to make sure that the furnace isn't getting too hot, to make sure that the fan's still running, to ensure that the homeowner is getting a safe and comfortable experience. Now, it also functions during the cooling portion of the year as well. So it's going to help operate the air conditioner. It's going to turn on the circulator fan, which is going to move the air around the house and give the customer that comfort that they're looking for.
So this is one of those products that's critical all year round,
yes,
regardless of the outdoor temperature, seasons, anything else.
Absolutely.
Great. Well, and again, that's something that's important to know. I mean, you need to have reliable components so that you don't have to worry whether it's, 10 below zero or whether it's 101 degrees. I know that this control panel is going to really take care and be reliable.
Exactly, and that reliability that you touched on is the reason that this product has been so successful.
Sure. So now talk a little bit about the wiring harness for this. It sounds like that's another part of that easy install.
It really is, and even though the actual nuts and bolts of what it's doing sounds pretty complicated, the wiring harnesses that we've included with the S9200 are really going to make the installation and configuration of this product pretty simple. So we've had wiring harnesses that we've had in the box for years with this product, but over the last year, when we looked at the portion of the market that we were covering, we weren't happy that there were a couple applications that we weren't making it the best experience for the contractors. So what we've done is included one more wiring harness. Now this one extra wiring harness may not sound like much, but it gets us to over 200 OEM and competitive boards that this one S9200 Universal IFC will replace.
That's great. All right, well, we've seen some cool new residential thermal solutions today, or should I say hot. Anyway, first we met the new universal heat pump defrost control. It can replace 260 other defrost controls, which will free up more room in your truck for important things like snacks. Right, Dan?
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. Second, we saw the new GlowFly Universal Hot Surface Igniter, and that was pretty illuminating. Yeah, you always have the good information, Dan. And finally, we checked out the S9200 IFC. And just a reminder, that doesn't mean I fancy candy, even though I do. If you ever want to, next time you come in, just bring some Snickers, Dan. That'd be great. It actually stands for Integrated Furnace Control. So, Dan, thanks so much for coming out.
Thanks,
really
Ben.
appreciate it. And why don't you tell the folks where they can find these products?
Yeah, as always, our pros can find our products at their favorite local distributor. The S9200 with the new wiring harness will be available starting in September, and then the other two products, the Universal Heat Pump Defrost Control and the GlowFly Pro, will be available by the end of the year.
Excellent. As I said before, we're here talking new, now, next all day. So be sure to check back in throughout the day as we cover zoning and hydronics and IAQ. For more information about the products and solutions we feature today, check out forwardthinking.honeywell.com/new now next. See you next time.